Hey, everybody, and welcome to Lords of the Night. With me, as always, is Scribe, the Lord of Punishment. Say hello.
Hello.
And the Lord of Puppies is also joining us, the lovely SDA. Say hi.
Hey guys.
And I am the Ranting Monkey, the Lord of Pain, and that is just far too real to be funny anymore. Guys, I just want to throw this out there at the beginning. I'm going to depress everybody real fast, if that's okay. It hit me last night. Tomorrow's my dad's birthday. We lost him a year ago on the 5th, 2 days after his birthday. So I've had a rough night that hit me last night, and I spent about an hour crying. And this is my therapy, so it's on you guys to cheer me up. So
do you want to,
with that in mind,
do you want to push off the movie night? We don't have to do it tomorrow.
Oh no, dude, no. I need distraction. That's what
okay.
helps me get through. So
all right, okay.
If I'm a little bit quiet tonight or anything, just kick me in the ass, and I will get back into gear. So remind me.
Wait, don't we don't touch the monkey butt.
I said,
now we do.
Dun,
dun, dun.
I'm also in a crap ton of pain, but we're going to make this a fun show anyway. So what do you guys have to start off? Anything as depressing as that shit?
No.
No.
See, that's what I'm here for. I'm here to bring everybody down.
Nothing depressing ever happens to me, so.
Wait, CNN's here to bring us down.
Oh, yes, and they do such a great job.
Yeah, which is why we're going to avoid CNN for the first story tonight on Monkey's request.
You know, this first story, the one that the stream is named after, I laughed so hard as I was reading it, I couldn't stop. But with nothing else, let's go ahead and jump into that.
All right. So
you have a super chat real quick.
Oh, thank you, Terry Diamanis. Will Monkey be singing a Meatloaf song too? Since Scribe said no, I figured 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Well played. Probably not. As I get more comfortable behind the mic here, you might hear me singing more often, and you might hear it one day.
I'm still freaking the fuck out over that, by the way. Like, I'm super terrified.
How long have we been doing this show?
Like, a long time.
April, maybe?
It was
Roy
before that.
Very nearly viral just invited me to a stream in 40 minutes. Now I have to go tell him, no. Anyway, go ahead. Let's do this story.
Well, we know exactly how long we've been doing this show. You just have to go back to your very first live stream, and that's pretty much it.
Indeed.
Wait, why'd you ask?
Because I would figure by now people would know this.
Oh, well, maybe they're not fans of ours.
Oh, I thought you were like, think of all the stupid shit you've said between now and then, and you're afraid to sing. That's what I was waiting for.
All right, so this is linked off of the Drudge Report, but this comes from the Washington Examiner. Opinion. This is an opinion piece. Nunez blows up, threatens contempt after FBI stonewalls house on Russia investigator demoted for anti-Trump bias. That's a lot of words to say something far more simple. House Intelligence Committee Chairman Devin Nunes has issued an angry demand to the FBI and Department of Justice to explain why they kept the committee in the dark over the reason Special Counsel Robert Mueller kicked a key supervising FBI agent off of the Trump-Russia investigation. Stories in both the Washington Post and New York Times on Saturday reported that Peter Strzok, who played a key role in the original FBI investigation into the Trump-Russia matter, and then a key role in Mueller's investigation, and who earlier had played an equally critical role in the FBI's Hillary Clinton email investigation, was reassigned out of the Mueller office because of anti-Trump texts he exchanged with a top FBI lawyer, Lisa Page, with whom Strzok was having an extramarital affair. Strzok was transferred to the FBI's Human Resources Office, an obvious demotion, in July. The Post reported that Strzok and Page exchanged text messages that, quote, expressed anti-Trump sentiments and other comments that appeared to favor Clinton, unquote. Word of the messages and the affair were news to Nunes, even though the committee had issued a subpoena that covered information about Strzok's demotion more than 3 months ago. The committee's broadly worded subpoena for information related to the so-called Trump dossier went to the FBI and FOJ on August 24th. In follow-up conversations on the scope of the subpoena, committee staff told the FBI and DOJ that it included information on the circumstances of Strzok's reassignment. On October 11th, Nunes met with Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein. In that meeting, Nunes specifically discussed the committee's request for information about Strosk. In October 31st committee staff meeting with the FBI, Bureau officials refused a request for information about Strosk. On November 20th, the committee again requested an interview with Strosk. 3 days earlier, on November 17th, Strosk met with the Senate Intelligence Committee. On November 29th, Nunes again spoke to Rosenstein and again discussed Strosk. On December 1st, the committee again requested to speak with Strosk. After each occasion, the FBI and DOJ did nothing. Now, in what appears to be an orchestrated leak, both the Post and Times have published the reason for Strosk's demotion, along with the concerns that the revelation might help President Trump. Quote, among federal law enforcement officials, there is great concern that exposure of the texts they exchanged may be used by the president and his defenders to attack the credibility of the Mueller probe and the FBI more broadly, the Post reported. Yeah. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. If there's investigatory bias inside of a independent investigation group, then yeah, that might be relevant to people.
Do you remember when there was talk about Trump firing Mueller?
Yes.
It was never very serious, but I mean, everybody, oh, why would you do what? No. Here's Mueller who actually fired somebody, and Congress wants to know why.
Mm-hmm.
And they've been putting it off, won't answer.
Right.
This guy's involvement both with the Clinton investigation and now this crap, it's very valid for them to want to know why he was removed. But for me, my favorite part is that this was all found out because he was texting his married girlfriend. That just made me laugh. That made me laugh. And I do wonder how they came to know about these texts.
Yeah, who knows? I mean, it might be maybe the affair was uncovered internally and he had to be questioned on that because she was also an FBI lawyer, and then that led to the revelation about the texts.
Real quick, Skeptalk asked for the link. Last we knew, links weren't working for us, guys. If you go to the Drudge Report, this is his headline right now.
Yeah, it's the very top thing, big red letters. Let's see. The Times reported that, quote, the existence of the text messages is likely to fuel claims by Mr. Trump that he is the target of a witch hunt, unquote. And then we get into the author. Oh, sorry.
No, I was going to say, there's really not much more to the story because they haven't released the texts, and I want to read them so bad.
Yeah, everything after that is just basically opinion and just sort of, musings on both the Senate being angry and how this might make Trump look better, or at least diffuse some of the stress over it. Yeah,
got a super chat. Real quick, Mash. Thank you. Send right cheek and left cheek to stroke ranting monkeys. King Kong dong to cheer him up. Oh, if only.
Yeah, I mean,
you know how big my dick would look in their little hands.
Do you really want an answer to that question?
No.
Yeah. When the credibility of an independent investigation is impinged like this, or impugned like this, I should say, and they cover it up. I mean, you want to talk about the pot calling the kettle black here. It's like we're here to investigate the possible collusion with Trump with Russia and any cover-ups that may have taken place at the highest level. Oh, but just don't pay attention to our own dirty laundry that we'll just keep over here in the corner until it's convenient to release it on a Saturday when nobody's paying attention. It's just like,
yeah, and one of the articles I read about this, because this story was broke by the New York Times and the Washington Post, and I think it was the New York Times article mentioned that the FBI that they have rules that allow their employees to have their own political opinions, publicly on social media and such. And with that rule in place, I just really, really want to know what these texts said that was bad enough to fire him.
Well,
he's not fired. He still has a job. He was just severely demoted.
There's two possibilities here. Either it's something really virulent and awful, or it's just enough to show an appearance of impropriety.
Yeah,
I mean that's the other thing. Yeah, the bar to jump might not be that high given how these guys are operating. At the same time, though, it does make you wonder, why didn't they come clean with it sooner if it was nothing?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Many people are mentioning that was a lot of word salad there at the end. That part that Scribe read that probably just seemed like a lot of words real fast is a timeline of when Congress is asked for information about this. I think there's 6 different instances there.
Right. Yeah. Sorry, guys. I was reading it as it was written, but it is in little segments, just basically telling you, date and then event, date, then event, then date and event, because that was, just to show how repeatedly they had requested for information on this and how many times the Mueller investigation or the Mueller group, whatever you want to call them, stonewalled.
And the reason that I bring that up and make sure you guys understand what we're talking about there is because I don't have a problem if it is the, appearance of impropriety thing, as you said, though, but why start stonewalling Congress over it?
Yeah.
I mean, it's been 6 months since this guy was fired, demoted. Sorry, I keep saying fired, but he was kicked off the team and demoted within the FBI. Why stonewall Congress about it? If the idea is to keep away the appearance of impropriety, then you come immediately and go, this is what we found. This is what we did about it.
Yeah, because if they'd said sorry,
go ahead. I'm sorry.
You broke up on me.
Go ahead.
Is he roboting for you, SDA? SDA?
No,
Chat SDA is ignoring us.
Okay.
Am I roboting?
No, you're not.
Don't like it to me. Or am I roboting? Maybe that's the other.
No, nobody's roboting. Maybe you're just screwing stuff.
So what was I going to say now that I left something? I mean, if they had come forward in July when the investigation was only sort of really starting, they would have saved themselves all the trouble in the world, because it's kind of like, we haven't even got that deep into things yet, and we got rid of some dead weight early on because it's an issue and now we can move forward. But by holding it off this long, it just causes more suspicion of exactly what their motivations are and what they're trying to do. I mean, either the Mueller investigation is politically motivated or it isn't. If it isn't, they should have brought it forward in July. If it is, why were they covering it up? I mean, it might be completely innocuous, and this is all much ado about nothing except for the incompetence of their reporting. But when the Senate asks for something, you give it to them. If they subpoena information, you give it to them, because isn't lying to the federal authorities part of what you just charged Flynn with? I mean,
exactly.
I mean, the omission of information is the same as lying in a lot of instances. Yeah, if you don't tell, anyway, this is just all types of messy. Anyway, in a related-ish story about saying things that aren't necessarily true or withholding information.
Dun, dun, dun.
So I actually saw this when the whole thing about Flynn being pleading and everything broke yesterday. One of the first things I saw tweeted was a clip, Vernaculus tweeted. It was a clip from an ABC news report from Brian Ross telling us that Flynn had confessed or revealed to authorities that he had been told directly by Trump to contact the Russians. And that was the big, like, oh my God, it's finally here, the smoking gun. Apparently that's not how it happened. ABC News suspends Brian Ross for 4 weeks over erroneous Flynn story. ABC News announced, sorry.
Can I just say it's nice to see a reporter suspended that doesn't have something to do with his dick?
There you go. That's true.
Just want to throw that out there.
Journalistic integrity. ABC News announced Saturday that it has suspended investigative reporter Brian Ross for 4 weeks without pay after Ross was forced to correct a bombshell on-air report about Michael Flynn. Quote, "We deeply regret and apologize for the serious error we made yesterday. The reporting conveyed by Brian Ross during the special report had not been fully vetted through our editorial standards process," ABC said in a statement. Excuse me. "As a result of our continued reporting over the next several hours, ultimately we determined the information was wrong and we corrected the mistake on air and online. It is vital we get the story right and retain the trust we have built with our audience. These are our core principles," the statement added. "We fell far short of that yesterday." Citing a single anonymous source, Ross told viewers during the ABC special report on Friday morning that Flynn was prepared to testify that Donald Trump, as a candidate for president, told him to contact the Russians. During Friday's edition of World News Tonight, Ross walked back his report, telling viewers that the source who had provided the initial information for his story later told him that it was as president-elect, not as a candidate, that Trump asked Flynn to contact the Russians. That was my first reaction last night, was like, isn't that what you do during a transition? Tell your people to contact the other foreign leaders?
Mm-hmm.
An ABC News tweet about the report was retweeted about 25,000 times before being deleted. Ross's incorrect report prompted a dramatic reaction in the financial markets, and the Dow fell more than 350 points. Stocks largely recovered later in the day. CNN had initially reached out to ABC News early Friday afternoon to ask why Ross's initial reporting was not included in the network's online story about Flynn pleading guilty for lying to the FBI. Hours later, a spokesman told CNN a correction was forthcoming. But ABC News initially attempted to downplay the mistake, referring to its correction as a clarification on World News Tonight and then online. After a barrage of criticism, the network changed the language online from clarification to correction. Saturday evening statement further ramped up the language. Ramped up the language. The network now calls it a serious error. Yeah, so there you go, guys. Check your sources before you put out something there. That's a serious fucking thing to say.
The people who retweeted it, I understand why they would, because, hey, this is a smoking gun.
Right.
But he had no evidence at all of this. None.
A guy told me. An anonymous source, an unnamed source told me a thing, and so I reported it nationally as truth that Donald Trump acted in a, I don't know. I mean, if you do that, I don't even know what the legal ramifications are if that had been true. Like, is that treason? I don't even know. But anyway.
As I mentioned yesterday, this is what Flynn was fired for.
Right.
It would make no sense, none at all, for them to have fired him in that way and also been like, yeah, we were the ones who told him to do it. Because, I mean, I get it. Donald Trump is not the smartest politician ever, but I don't think even he's that dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah, real quick, Monkey Dick, Jim Jones, movies. Smash that like button, y'all. It's the one with the thumb up. And share our stuff. YouTube's not doing a real good job of sharing our stuff lately, but you guys could do it for us.
Mm-hmm.
If you love me.
And tell your friends that we're so funny.
No, don't put that caveat on it if they love you. I mean, you know.
But everybody loves me.
Do you love me?
I'm a lovable guy.
Yes.
You're not when you talk like that.
Yeah, I am. There's women out there right now, and their panties are getting wet. How does that make you feel?
Oh, yeah.
Shut up.
Oh. I don't want their panties getting wet. There's certain parts of their anatomy I wouldn't mind.
Well, their panties are up against that part of their anatomy. That's where panties
Scribe
go.
doesn't know how panties work.
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, you take them down and then they don't get wet.
Yay!
It's a monkey tip for you right there. That's just science, y'all.
I don't want the monkey tip or any of the rest of it either.
Just the monkey tip.
So hey, hey kids, do you like North Korea?
No.
No, really.
Not even a little bit. Fuck them.
Well, H.R. McMaster, our national security advisor, says potential for war with North Korea, quote, increasing every day. White House National Security Advisor H.R. McMaster said Saturday that North Korea represents, quote, the greatest imminent threat to the United States and that the potential for war with the communist nation is growing each day. Quote, I think it's increasing every day, which means that we are in a race, really. We are in a race to be able to solve this problem, McMaster told an audience at the Reagan National Defense Forum in Simi Valley, California, when asked if North Korea's launch of an intercontinental ballistic missile had increased the chance of war. President Donald Trump remains committed to the complete denuclearization of the Korean Peninsula, McMaster said, adding that there are non-military ways to deal with the issue, such as calling on China to impose greater economic sanctions. McMaster noted that Beijing's tremendous coercive economic power over North Korea. Well, I'd heard that either China was or was being encouraged to cut off oil supplies to North Korea. I don't know if that actually happened or not. But anyway, yeah, so we're headed to war probably in some way, shape, or form.
I really hope that if we do it, we act quick enough that nothing else happens.
Mm-hmm.
Seoul is really, really close. It is, and if they do have a working nuke, it'll be gone in an instant.
Yeah, that's the issue with it, is that, you know, what's going to have to happen before we actually take action and try to counteract it And how many people are going to die before we go, okay, now we can declare war?
I really wish we could just talk the Chinese to going in and knocking out their sites, but I know that's not going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if they did it, nobody in the world would condemn them. We'd all be like, cool, nice job. Way to go, commies. But yeah. Unfortunately, I think it's going to have to
technically isn't communist anymore.
Yeah, they're still communists.
Yeah, they're still communists.
Little commie fuckers.
Let's see. Well, from rockets on Earth to rockets in space. Just a little bit of a science story for the sake of not having anything horrible to say for once. We are one step closer to the Borg because Voyager, or Voyager 1, has fired up its thrusters for the first time since 1980.
Where's Voyager at these days?
Well, I'll tell you.
It's past Pluto. Or
it's a
past
good idea.
the Kuiper Belt. Or, no, I don't think it's near the Kuiper Belt yet.
Well, I'll tell you. It's a good idea to have a backup plan, especially in interstellar space. NASA scientists needed to reorient the 40-year-old's Voyager 1, the space agency's farthest spacecraft, so its antenna would point toward Earth, 13 billion miles away. But the attitude control thrusters, the first option to make the spacecraft turn in space, have been wearing out. So NASA searched for a plan B, eventually deciding to try using four trajectory correction maneuver thrusters located on the backside of Voyager 1. But those thrusters had not been used in 37 years, so NASA wasn't sure they'd work. Tuesday, engineers fired up the thrusters and waited eagerly to find out whether the plan was successful. They got their answer 19 hours and 35 minutes later, the time it took for the results to reach Earth. The set of four thrusters worked perfectly. The spacecraft turned and the mood at NASA shifted to jubilation. Quote, the Voyager team got more excited each time with each milestone in the thruster test. The mood was one of relief, joy, and incredulity after witnessing these well-rested thrusters pick up the baton as if no time had passed at all. Let's see. And where is it now? It is... okay, I passed that. Okay, it is expected that in the year... in the year 40,272, Voyager 1 will come within 1.7 light years of an obscure star in the constellation Ursa Minor, and in about 40,000 years, Voyager 2 will come within about 1.7 light years of a star called Ross 248, a small star in the constellation of Andromeda. So, not that long to wait. Just, 38,000 years.
Yeah, it's not going to get to anything very interesting, I don't think, for a while.
Until it's captured by the Borg and integrated into their systems.
Hey, Irate Bear's in chat. Hey, bud, if you guys missed it, check Scribe's channel for our stream last night where Irate Bear joined us. It was a good talk.
Let's see. That's all the news I had, unless something else has happened in the last...
I don't think we talked about it on our stream, and I don't have the story yet, but the dude who was making his own steam-powered rocket, did you see he called off his rocket?
Oh, you mean the Flat Earth guy?
Yeah.
I heard about it.
Guys.
Okay.
The Ghost Poo guys talked about it the other day, but yeah, apparently things weren't going very well with a steam-powered rocket, go figure. So he had to call off his launch.
Did he call it off or just postpone it?
Well, let's be real. He's not gonna launch himself into fucking space with a steam-powered rocket.
I would hope he would try. I would love to see the video of him try.
Oh, yes, I want to see him try, but
yeah, I'd love to see that. I'd love to see the attempt. Maybe he makes it on a wing and a prayer.
I just think it would be funny if it worked out like a Roadrunner episode, and he just immediately went into a mountain.
Well, there's maybe it's an urban legend, but several years ago I heard about one of the early Darwin Award winners where a guy had strapped a jet engine to the top of his car, and that actually happened. He turned it on, and it blasted him straight into the side of a mountain because he did this out in the desert somewhere, and he was like completely obliterated. Now, I don't know if that story is true. Like I said, I believe this was before the internet when I heard this story, and so it might be completely urban legend, but I always thought that was ridiculously tragic.
Well, rockets aren't just something. I know Iron Man was a great movie, but you can't just strap a fucking rocket to yourself and turn it on. You're gonna die.
Well, you can. It's not wise to do so.
Look up jet-powered bar stool, says Pincalo. Okay. I'll have to check that out.
You know, I swear, like forever, I could not figure out who the hell you guys were talking about because I was looking for somebody named Pink Hollow.
Pink Hollow.
Well, that's how you guys freaking pronounce it. You know, Pink Hollow, and I'm like, who the hell is Pink Hollow?
I'd like to find a pink hollow for myself.
No, you are disgusting.
Well, let's see. Unless we have any other major stories popping up, we can move on to the MSS News.
Guys, if you have stories you'd like us to take a look at and possibly cover, hit us up on Twitter at #MSS News. We can't get to every story, but we do our best. So toss us some stories to check out.
Let's see. This first one comes from Pissed Off Shih Tzu. Controversial bill would force business owners to take down bulletproof glass. Okay.
What? Why?
Oh, yes.
That's a fire hazard. That's my guess. A controversial bill is currently working its way through City Hall designed to regulate stop-and-go liquor stores. One part of the bill would force business owners to take down bulletproof glass inside their stores, but at what cost to their safety? Broad Deli sits on the corner of the 2200 block of North Broad. Inside a wall of bulletproof glass separates customers from workers. Quote, "The most important thing is safety and the public safety," owner Rich Kim said. Kim's family has run the deli, which sells soda, snacks, meals, and beer by the can for 20 years. He says the glass went up after a shooting and claims it saved his mother-in-law from a knife attack. Now he may be forced to take some of the barrier down. Quote, "If the glass comes down, the crime rate will rise and there will be lots of dead bodies," he said. Dramatic. Bill moving through City Council reads, "No establishment shall erect or maintain a physical barrier," unquote. It's called the Stop and Go Bill and is being offered by City Councilwoman Cindy Bass. Right now, the plexiglass has to come down, she said. She wants to put some controls on these small stores that she says sell booze, very little food, and are the source of trouble in her district. What does that got to do with taking down the... They don't say what the logic is behind it in the story.
There is no good logic behind it. Thank you, Snub Earth. Didn't some nut job say bulletproof glass was racist? That's the headline I saw, but I didn't read the story. So
yeah, maybe there's another story that explains this, but well, here at the bottom it says, Kim argues as a Korean American he's being targeted. Quote, "This bill targets Korean Americans."
How so?
That one I'd understand either. I'm still at a loss to understand the logic.
Is bulletproof glass Korean?
I don't know.
No, but Koreans are the only ones who own businesses in black communities.
Oh,
that's
God.
Science.
Obviously.
Let's see. We talked about the Cuddle Crew the other day. Okay, this one comes from the motherfucking Jack the motherfucking Cochran. Sorry, I always put the there, and I think that it's after the, but it's just Jack. Okay. Blackjack. Black don't crack, and neither does Jack. All right. Kansas City man charged with murder after daughter tells school counselor she found her mom's body in the basement.
That's fucked.
A Missouri man has been charged with murder in his wife's death after their 7-year-old daughter told a school counselor she saw her mother's body in their home's basement. Benjamin Byers, 45, of Kansas City, has been accused of fatally stabbing his wife, Melissa Byers, 47, before wrapping her body in sheets and hiding it in the basement of their family's home. Police were notified of the alleged murder Wednesday when Byers' daughter told a school counselor she saw her mother's body downstairs the night before. Police forced their way into Byers' home, where Byers met them in the living room. Upon questioning, Byers told authorities he didn't know where his wife was and that he hadn't seen her since Monday when she went to work. Following a trail of blood drops through the house, the police made their way to the basement, where they found a tarp with blood around it. Blood, believed to be drag marks, led investigators to a body wrapped in clothing, carpeting, plastic, and sheets. A large portion of carpet from the home's dining room appeared to have been removed, the documents allege. Byers has been charged with second-degree murder, armed criminal action, abandonment of a corpse, and endangering the welfare of a child. Put him in a concrete box.
Abandonment of a corpse? Real quick, thank you, Peter. Just a donation. I appreciate that so much. Nothing to say there. Abandonment of a corpse. I feel like he kept it pretty close to home.
Oh.
Uh, well, it's true. I'm not being.
Yeah, no, I know, but it could be interpreted as a bad joke.
Oh, no, my jokes are much worse than that.
That's not a joke. Like, he's just saying what happened.
Yeah,
I know, just the
like,
phrase
that's
close to
literally
home.
what happened.
Yeah. Now, I do think, I mean, that poor kid's gonna be fucked up for the rest of her life. That is so fucked. I hope this guy,
she's lost her mother and now will lose her father. And good God,
put him under the prison. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
Hi, Weebs.
It's Weebo. What kind of senseless motherfucker would keep the body in the basement and not clean up the blood trail? Obviously, this guy.
Well, that's the weird part, because they said he cut out part of the carpet, but he just left the body downstairs. That's weird.
And the blood trail. It's like, here's a trail of blood drops. I mean, Hansel and Gretel, follow the way. You know. Okay.
Well, maybe the house was really dirty and he didn't think anyone would notice.
His the 7-year-old. That's the part that gets me.
Let's see. I hope that kid gets some help, because she's going to need it.
Let's see. On to something hopefully maybe lighter in tone. Raymond Lewis sends us this one from the Hollywood Reporter.
I opened this up telling you that I'm sad because my dad died, and you read me a story about somebody killing a mom. Thanks. I appreciate that.
I thought it would balance out the karma. I did. Sorry, I'll never do
that. No, if you kill a dad and then you kill a mom, everything's fine. Right?
Okay. Well, how about a lady with large breasts? Will that make you happier?
It depends on the lady. Go ahead.
Okay. Pamela Anderson responds to backlash over her comments about Harvey Weinstein victims. I don't even know what she said.
What'd she say?
The actress said on Instagram that she stands by what she said during her Megyn Kelly interview Thursday. Quote, "You know what you're getting into if you're going into a hotel room alone," unquote.
You know, real quick, I don't mean to interject before we get to the rest of the story. If you ever watched the old, what was Bill Maher's old show, Politically Incorrect?
Mm-hmm.
He had a 2-parter on there with Camille Paglia. She got in a lot of trouble way back when, during the Tyson rape case.
Yeah.
For saying exactly the same thing. If you go up to a man's hotel room at 2:00 in the morning, you know what's going to happen. Come on. That doesn't make rape okay. If she says no, no means no. But why are you going up there? What do you think's going to happen? You're not having a tea party, for fuck's sake. Don't go up to a man's hotel room unless you want to fuck. Sorry, go ahead.
Pamela Anderson is standing by her statements that women, quote, know what you're getting into if you go into a hotel room alone, unquote, made during a Thursday interview on sexual harassment with Megyn Kelly. The Baywatch star discussed her own personal experience with abuse on Megyn Kelly today and commented that she was not surprised at the fallout following allegations against Harvey Weinstein. Quote, "It was common knowledge that certain producers or certain people in Hollywood are people to avoid privately," said Anderson to Kelly. "You know what you're getting into if you're going into a hotel room alone. Don't go into a hotel room alone," Anderson added. "If someone answers the door in a bathrobe, leave. This is things that are common sense, but I know Hollywood is very seductive and the people want to be famous. Sometimes you think you're going to be safe with an adult in a room. I don't know where the security comes from, but somehow I dodged it all." Anderson posted a response to her interview Friday on Instagram, quote, "Backlash is good. I like this. My position is not problematic because I think she meant because it doesn't, but she said I doesn't. Because I doesn't fall in line with the common herd or trend.
I mean, it's probably just a typo.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying. I'm trying to tell women as a survivor of childhood abuse myself, it is important to be proactive as an adult who knows better in defending themselves. I agree.
Hashtag slut shaming, bitch.
Let's see.
Well, it's like going to a fucking movie and being mad that they showed a movie. Don't put yourself in that situation. Why would you put yourself in that situation?
Well, see, this is what we said with Blair White, and everybody got all pissy.
Yeah, no means no. Absolutely, I'm not taking that away. But it's like not leaving your car running with the door wide open. Don't do things that are going to put you at risk, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, like maybe don't walk into a lion enclosure and then be all confused when your arm gets chopped off.
Yeah. Kara says it's her dad's birthday and wants to know if we can sing happy birthday.
Is he watching?
Kara, well, in honor of my dad, we're gonna do it anyway. Kara, what's your dad's name? Let me know his name, and I will belt you out a happy birthday. Scribbles, how do you feel about that? Because you've actually been quiet about an opinion there.
I agree that you are responsible for not putting yourself into obvious danger or situations that are okay. There's a delineation that has to be made here, and you've made it, and everybody else has made it too. When someone decides to attack, assault, / rape someone else, that is on them. That is not the fault of someone else to be attacked in that way. But putting yourself into circumstances that raise the risk to your safety,
or almost guarantee that you're about to get your shit kicked, your teeth fucking kicked in. Not saying it's your fault. I'm just saying, like, you probably knew.
Sweetie.
Yeah.
Let him finish.
Okay.
Go ahead, Scribe.
You see, that's a great example. That was on SDA. I am the victim. I have put myself in the situation knowingly coming on this stream that I'm probably going to be interrupted. I accept that risk as an adult. Okay. And so I don't have many complaints other than, it just happens all the time. But the action undertaken by a rapist is on the rapist. But if you put yourself in a dark alley in the middle of the night by yourself, and you knowingly do this is an accident, this wasn't some kind of, happenstance or something. You're deciding, I'm going to walk home in the dark by myself in the middle of the worst part of town or something. You're increasing your risk. You're not accepting anything that's coming at you, but you're increasing the risk that something will happen. That is on you. Someone choosing to take advantage of that is on them.
Yeah. For the record, SDA, when I told you to let him finish, Lady Monkey said, "You're not the boss of her."
I like Lady Monkey better than you.
Okay, Kara's dad is that Dino or Dino? Because that could be either.
I really hope it's Dino.
I think it's Dino. It's Dino.
Dino bus driver, who is in chat, and his name is Glenn. And a 1 and a 2. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, dear
Glenn.
Dino.
Happy birthday
to you.
Happy birthday.
I did my best Dino the dinosaur there for a second.
You did a good one. That was really nice.
I can't. That was Mel Blanc. That was the same guy that did Bugs Bunny's voice, did the original Dino.
Yeah. Bugs hasn't sounded the same yet.
No, none of them have.
Oh my! Kara says it's, and then she just spelled it. There's no.
It's Dino. It's Dino, Ranting Monkey. Yeah, you need a little more phonetic spelling. Yeah, I need some phonetic spelling. Weebo Jones says, Scribe Light, alpha male up for once in your life and man-terrupt your point across these silly people.
That's right.
I should.
Yeah, you're not very assertive.
Jesus.
Yeah, well, here's the problem. I have manners.
Yeah, fuck manners.
And I hate the confusion of crosstalk. So if I get started being talked over, I just kind of wait my turn, I suppose. So I don't know. Maybe just the way I was raised.
No, it's not like you talk most of the stream anyway.
The Cozy Comfortable Poetry channel says, I'm falling asleep. Love you guys. Going to bed. I've had several people tell me that they listen to you and me, Scribe, to go to sleep.
I'll take that we're soothing.
Soothing or boring. One of the two.
Mm-hmm.
Weebo just called you a beta fuck. Holy shit.
Wow.
Fighting words.
That's
Kumate. Anyway.
That's a lot from somebody who has to look up to see the bottom of a snake.
Ooh. Midget jokes flying. What's next, y'all?
Well, let's see. How about why millennial women are embracing atheism? Apparently.
Oh, sure. Yeah, let's do that.
Apparently, this person thinks they have the answer to this one. And this comes from, I'm always going to fuck this up because Oscar Tarkin Ironis. Ironis? I don't know. And this is from popsugar.news. I've never heard of them before. This is first published on May 5th, somewhere else, I guess, but they republished it today for some reason.
Real quick before, it is Dino. It's in relation to a rhino, like a Republican in name only, Democrat in name only, because conservative.
Oh, I see.
Okay.
Okay. Well, then I did Dino, who is a dino, so it's okay.
He is. It still works.
Okay, so why millennial women are embracing atheism. Danielle Schachter never thought she would become an unchristian. All right. Quote,
Unchristian.
I became an unchristian. Quote, I slowly became more and more disgusted by the way I saw people treating others, says the 32-year-old who was raised Baptist. I didn't want to be associated with a religion that preached so much hate. Okay. Schachter, like so many millennials, has chosen a secular life, and she's not alone. According to the Pew Research Center, only 4 in 10 millennials say that religion is very important to them, compared with 6 in 10 baby boomers. The numbers of religiously unaffiliated support this too. 23% of the population identifies with no religion. This number is up from 2007, when it was only 16%. Of older millennials, 35% are religiously unaffiliated, and they're driving the overall growth of the non-religiously affiliated in America. This is a big deal. To be religiously unaffiliated means you not only avoid identifying as a Christian or Jew or Muslim, but that you eschew organized faith altogether. Yes, that's what...
We needed new words.
Religiously unaffiliated. You're right. You're not only avoiding identifying with the 3 major religions, you're unaffiliated religiously, period. Okay.
Oh, my good Lord. You don't have to be special in everything. There's words for this shit already.
From there, non-religious can be broken down into 4 categories.
Oh,
okay.
Please.
Secularism, the belief in separation of church and state and that all beliefs are equal.
I wouldn't say that that's what secularism is.
Yeah. Agnosticism, the belief that it's impossible to know if there is a God. Humanism, the idea that human reason drives us, not higher powers. And atheism, the belief that there is no God. This last group, the atheists, has become increasingly vocal in recent years. They are fighting to keep religion separated from laws that affect them and to shift society away from religious trappings. Isn't that the definition you gave for secular?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Where is this? What publication is this?
Popsugar, all one word, .com. POPSUGAR.
Yeah, that sounds about right for this article. Keep going. I'm sorry.
And then there's a photo they've posted of a lady holding a sign that says, I'm advocating for LGBTQ racial justice because we must dismantle white supremacy and decolonize our minds and society.
Decolonize. Yeah, let's get rid of the colonies, guys.
The colony in my mind, those are the voices that help me write ads. I can't get rid of them. Sorry, guys. What's fascinating is that while millennials are moving away from religion, they're moving towards spirituality.
I feel like he misused the word fascinating there.
What's fascinating? Yeah.
That's not fascinating.
That's older than sin.
Yeah.
This demographic considers itself just as spiritual as older demographics. Okay. Even as they represent an exodus out of organized religion and into the throes of secularism. Oh! I put the back of my hand over my forehead. Oh, the throes of secularism. I've got a case of the vapors.
There are a few things more annoying than a brand new atheist. And I mean that sincerely, because they are the embodiment of Anita Sarkeesian's, you have to point it all out. The majority of them, and I was no different myself. But it's like they have to be the biggest jackass and call out religion at every moment, except for now with the spiritual ones. It's oh God, it's like a vegan on crack. I can't take these people.
I think Christopher Hitchens came up with the better term for people who are like atheist activists. They are anti-theists. They actually, you know, go to the effort and expend the energy to try to verbally or otherwise battle against, in open court, so to speak, against religion. Whereas if you're just somebody who doesn't give a shit about the argument over it and just, you know, doesn't believe or doesn't have reason to believe, let's say, Bill Maher calls those apatheists, like apathetic atheists, apatheists. All silly terms, but unfortunately it's become something you kind of have to granulate, I guess, if you really want to determine. But like this, there's secularists and humanists and atheists and, for God's sakes, just turning it into tribes. Everything's got to be tribes. You have to have like sects of atheism now. Just anyway.
And yeah, and here's the thing: if you don't believe, then just don't believe. You don't have to tear everyone else. I mean, if you want to argue, fine, knock yourself out. But for me, the you know, we have the war on Christmas, and who was it? I forget who posted it the other day. They asked, "Do you believe there's actually a war on Christmas?" Yeah, I actually do. And one of the reasons that made me finally go, yes, there is, was the Starbucks controversy. Thank you, Twat Waffle. Everybody has to have something. I believe I'll have another beer.
Hey! I believe in beer.
I love that your name is Twat Waffle.
Twat Waffle's an awesome name. If you go back and look at the genesis of the Starbucks coffee kerfluffle,
which one?
For lack of a better word, the original, where there was the huge issue because somebody was mad, or that Christians everywhere were mad that they took Christmas stuff off the coffee cup. It was one goddamn guy, one dude who had a very small blog wrote it, and it got picked up, and everyone ran with it about how, look how funny Christians are because they're throwing a fit over this cup. They really weren't. There was one fucking dude who had a problem. And then other people, you know, commented about the people who were making a big deal about it. And every fucking year since, we have to hear about the goddamn Starbucks coffee cup. Nobody gives a fuck. Most Christians are not basing their fucking religion off of Starbucks, for fuck's sake. And I want to point this out. I am not a Christian. I am not defending Christians because I agree with them. I'm defending them because far too often atheists make giant jackasses out of themselves over things that don't fucking matter. Mind your own fucking business. If it doesn't directly affect you. Like if you, oh no, they put up a nativity scene. Don't fucking look at it. It doesn't fucking hurt you to have it there.
Yeah.
Fuck. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
This is one of those topics that really pisses me off because while you're making me defend people I don't agree with. Stop it.
That's I'm the separate subject, but I'm happy to defend people I don't agree with, in the sense that they have the right to say what they want to say. I mean, but insofar,
remind me of that at YouTube time. Wait, I need a pen.
Okay.
Keep going.
Insofar as arguing about religion, I don't go out of my way to, unless it's something that I'm, you know, confronted with directly. Like if I'm, specifically if I'm doing a video on it, or if somebody makes a statement about how, you know, what was it? Like when the Mormons come to my door and they want to talk to me about it, then sure, I'll engage. But otherwise, I don't think about religion in any particular way. Even when there's a terrorist attack that involves a fundamentalist Muslim or anything, I don't think about the religion. I just, you know, whatever. Anyway,
Ryan Walter says monkey needs his ducks. Yes, I fucking do. This shit annoys me. Miss Slim One, thank you. Isn't Starbucks owned by a Jew? I don't know, but probably.
And honestly, probably nobody would have even noticed that they had done anything with the cups had people not made a big deal out of one guy saying a thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's fucking retarded. I mean, it's not even like this guy had a huge blog. It's not like he had 1 million followers. I think he had like 100 or 200 people who actually read the fucking thing until this story came out. Yeah. And if Starbucks wants to do that, that's fine too. But Jesus Christ.
You have your ducks, by the way.
Oh, thank you so much, Old Timer Gaming. What else we got?
You want me to do
wait,
more?
it's not.
Yeah, we're about there.
This is actually going really fast tonight.
Mm-hmm.
SDA, did you do anything for YouTube?
No, I've been busy all day.
Did you have any streams? You streamed with Satsu last night. How'd that go?
Oh, I did stream with Satsu last night, and I briefly streamed with Jester on Twitch today as well. It went well. You know, something that's really, I don't know why, because I'm very good with directions. I'm like pretty much a GPS in real life. But in video games, I'm fucking useless. And I get lost so easily. Like, you could be like, okay, SDA, just walk in a straight line. And if I'm in a video game, I'm going to get confused about 2 steps in. I don't know why. So, yeah, Satsu had to listen to me go, okay, wait, I'm lost, like, for about 2 hours last night. And I'm pretty sure he wants to kill me.
Scribbles?
Well, aside from writing ads, I'm looking at I think I mentioned this the other night. I'm looking at a video of a panel of 4 men being moderated by a woman at something called the Girls Lounge, where they're talking about men's part in the equation of gender equality in the office or something like that. And I'm just getting started because it's like an hour-long deal, and I'm basically gonna have to watch the whole thing to see if there's anything really juicy in there. And I swear I must have mentioned this the other night. If I already said this, just stop me because I can't remember if I did or not. Oh, you have a super chat.
Oh, sorry. I was bringing up a comment. Thank you so much, Miss Slim One. The Starbucks owner is Jewish.
Well, Ms. Slim One is a German import, so that's very important to her. So
nice.
So one of the first things the moderator says to the guys on the stage is, "How does it feel to be a minority in this room?" And the guy immediately to her left is I had to look it up. He's actually a half Chinese. And all the other guys, all the other guys are, I knew I mentioned this. As I was saying it, I'm like, I said this the other night, didn't I? Anyway, that was just what got me hooked into watching it, but I had to stop and do other things in the last day or so. So I'm starting to piece through it now, and if it's something worth talking about, I'll make a video. If not, I'll move on. I have a couple other things that I'm looking at, but yeah. So aside from ads, that's all I did today.
I'm trying to find the exact comment, and I think the guy might have deleted it. Too bad, because I already saved it, and I have a picture of it already that I haven't decided if I'm going to do this video or not.
Okay.
And for those of you waiting for ads, they will come up right after this. On my social justice is still winning video. Oh, here it is. I found it. There it is. This comment was left. I'm not going to read the whole thing. I'm just gonna read the opening line. The things are getting worse every day because people like you, Mr. Ranting Monkey, keep defending the regressive left's right to say whatever they want because something free speech.
Yes, correct.
Well, he goes on to talk about how we're losing our freedoms. And I haven't decided if I'm actually going to respond to this video or not, or this comment or not. I really want to. My question is this: for anybody who's sharing that idea that we can't let regressives talk, what freedom is it you're fighting for? Mm-hmm. What the fuck is it you're fighting for? The only freedom that I see more important than the freedom of speech is the freedom to life, the ability to actually exist. And after that, the next most important thing is the ability to express yourself. Without that, nothing can change, period. And if you're going to tell me, you know, that you're worried about losing freedom, and in the same breath, you're telling me that you don't think certain people should be allowed to speak, I'm going to tell you to go fuck yourself because you're an idiot. Now, am I wrong in this? What freedom is it you're standing up for? Mm-hmm. If freedom of speech is something you're like, well, we can't let some people talk. Mm-hmm. And one of the great things is this motherfucker goes, you need to learn your history. You need to look up Venezuela. Well, one thing, Venezuela's not my fucking history, dickhead. But if you look at Venezuela, what happened there, it didn't happen because free speech isn't allowed. It's the same argument that they make with fucking Germany. In Germany, people said things and other people believed it, and then all this bad stuff happened. Yeah. Because people weren't allowed to speak against it, you dumb fuck.
No, that happens all. I've actually been in a conversation just like that where somebody was like, but look what Germany did. And Germany had free speech and then the Nazis. And I was like, yeah, because the Nazis were so into people agreeing with them. That's how Nazis work.
Well, Nazis didn't come into power saying, we're going to take away your freedom of speech. They came into power. And this is what you guys don't got to fucking pay attention. After World War I, the world fucked Germany hard over World War I. And you might say that was fine. But they were fucked. And so you have these people coming up saying, yeah, fuck this. We're not going to put up with that shit anymore. That's what did it. It wasn't that they didn't come up going, we're going to burn Jews. That's not how it fucking happened. That's all I had. I may or may not do an actual response to that because I've been thinking about it since I read it last night. And I wonder what fucking freedom it is that this guy thinks he's fighting for. If one of the most basic freedoms we can have is one he's willing to throw away. If there's no other thoughts, we can get on to ads if you'd like, Scribbles.
Sure. Let's see. So everybody, there's the ads that were requested last night. I think I have them in the same order they were requested, but if I don't, oh well. So the first one was from Sanguine. A modern fantasy movie about mortal avatars of Mention. Now, what are Mention? Well, I had to look it up, of course. So here we go. In ancient times, the doorway to one's home was considered a sacred passage, the boundary between wilderness and welcome. And to protect these doorways, pictures and runes of protective spirits would be etched into the doors and their frames, and thus these door gods became bound to the doorway. One of these doorways led to the sacred temple of Qianyang. But time has passed, and the old ways have withered. Yet the
Scribbles.
Yes.
You are roboting.
You are roboting real bad, bud.
So hard.
Am I still roboting?
Oh
Yes.
my god. You sound so silly. Yeah, you're roboting.
He'll be back in a moment and we'll get back to the ads.
He'll probably be very upset when he gets back.
He'll be fine.
No, he'll be okay. It's gonna be really cranky.
It sucks when you're trying to stream and your voice just goes out because I mean it's bad enough.
Yeah, especially when you're talking about Muslims and like your voice just malfunctions.
The other night when not Scribbles, when Satsu and
Testing.
oh, you sound much better.
Okay. Did any of that ad come across? I'll just start over.
No, it started as soon as you started the ad.
Okay.
What were you saying, Monkey?
Oh, I was just saying that we'll talk about it later. Let's get back to the ads real quick.
Okay. Did the description of the ad come through first? Did the request at all?
Yes.
Okay. Let me try again. In ancient times, the doorway to one's home was considered a sacred passage, the boundary between wilderness and welcome. And to protect these doorways, pictures and runes of protective spirits would be etched into the doors and their frames, and thus these door gods became bound to the doorway. One of these doorways led to the sacred temple of Qianyang. But time has passed, and the old ways have withered, yet the door gods remain. Centuries later, a master thief is planning to steal artifacts from the temple of Qianyang, which is now a modern museum. Unable to leave the entrance, the door god selects his mortal champions to defend the temple and defeat its foes. And these heroes are 5 young students on a field trip. Sanguine Studios brings you a tale of adventure and magic for the whole family. The Gatekeepers.
I was hoping you were going to make them the Power Rangers.
Well, see that? No. I mean, unfortunately, that was kind of the analog that kind of came in my mind as I was writing it, but I was kind of like, well, it's fun, whatever.
Not the Power Rangers, actually. Voltron, the original Power Rangers.
Well, I mean, yeah, he's exactly the original Power Rangers. Let's see. Okay, the next one was from Rotten Corpse, who gave the honors to Irate Bear to come up with the ad idea, and Bear suggested the Harvey Weinstein movie trailer. Oh boy. Ripped from the headlines, the Hollywood scandal that would set off a firestorm across every aspect of modern society. He was the most powerful film producer since D.W. Griffith, able to make or break a superstar's career with a single wave of his bloated, sausage-fingered hand. But after 30 years of cover-ups and fear, 2 intrepid reporters from the New York Times would put the pieces together and bring down the king of Tinseltown. Seth Rogen stars as the misogynistic movie mogul in Rotten Corp Studios' epic docudrama, Take a Shower with Me, The Ridiculous Rise and Epic Fall of Harvey Weinstein.
Take a shower with me.
That should totally be the title. That should totally be the title. Okay, a little bit of a lengthy one, but Snubberth requested an ad for a movie trailer for The Day the Clown Cried if it was released to the public. But here's the thing, it's not an if, it's just a matter of when. And I looked this up and it's true. Coming in June 2024, a film so bad, so terrible, that it had to be locked away for half a century to ensure that all involved would be dead, lest they have to bear the shame of The Day the Clown Cried. For the first time ever, the United States Library of Congress, in association with the Jerry Lewis estate, brings to the silver screen a legend only spoken of in whispers until now. See the incredible, tasteless story of Helmut Durk, a failed German circus clown during the dark days of the Holocaust. Jailed in a concentration camp, Durk will use his scant talents at comedy to bring sanity to chaos and eventually lead children happily into the gas chambers. It must be seen to be believed that anyone ever thought that this was a good idea. Jerry Lewis regrettably stars in The Day the Clown Cried. Brought to you with great sadness by Snubber 13.
They're actually releasing it in 2024?
The Library of Congress has been bound by agreement with the Jerry Lewis estate to hold on to the copy they have and not screen it until June of 2024, 52 years after its completion, essentially.
Yeah, it's just a fucking movie.
Well, it's a legend. It's a secret legend.
It's just a fucking movie.
Watch it not even be like that bad. Like, we get it, we're expecting like this horrible thing, and then it's just like, oh, okay.
Wouldn't it be great if it turned out to be the next Citizen Kane?
I just hope it turns out to be the next The Room.
Oh, God. Oh, man. I think the Wayans brothers should get to work on a remake.
God.
I would watch that.
Okay, so this one came from The Layman. He tweeted me the idea, so I assume it was meant to be kept secret, so I won't read it out loud. It'll just be a surprise. And this is actually kind of fun because I could use a lot of trivia I already had in my head to make this one work. This season on Dance Moms, the Abbey Lee Dance Company has relocated to the mystical city of Carcosa and is ready to tangle their way into your eldritch hearts all over again. Meet Chogner Foggen and its daughter, Frau Ugnan, the 2 Sithonian whores ready to get their groove on in preparation for the masked ball at the Palace of the King in Yellow. They'll be pitted against a hoary host of other competitors, including Shubna Garoth and her 1,000 young, as well as Nyarlathotep and its infinite aspects. Will the road to the royal ball lead to an all-out war of insanity among their elder gods? Find out on this season of Dance Moms, Lost in Carcosa, sponsored by United Mayonnaise Company.
Shit.
Yeah, so,
I hate the Dance Moms.
Yeah, he wanted a Cthulhu mythos figure as a contestant on Dance Moms. So there you go. But sponsored by a mayonnaise company, I think specifically on behalf of SDA.
I hate those cunts. Those women are horrible.
I've never seen the show. I thought it was a joke. And then I looked it up and it was real. Let's see. Mule 1066 requested an ad for a company, My Choice of the Type, that uses the Kelly LeBrock line from Weird Science, Chips, Dips, Chains, and Whips, as its name. Okay. Come on down to the most exciting entertainment extravaganza this side of the Mississippi. Mule 1066 Corporation brings you the innovative combination of a poker hall, ballroom dancing, bondage, and sadomasochistic paradise of your dreams with chips, dips, chains, and whips. Waltz the night away while losing your retirement savings and being beaten into submission by one of our delectable dominants. It's as close to hell as you'll find here on Earth, and 1,000 degrees more fun. Chips, dips, chains, and whips.
Well done.
And let's see, we got 2 more. Okay. Sanguine requested a fantasy series about a world where all of the super chatters from tonight, or last night, are the Pantheon. So I get a little bit of a roster here, but coming soon on Netflix, hidden behind a veil of myth and legend, the secret masters of time and creation watch, judge, reward, and punish at their whim. Since time began, they have had a hand in the affairs of mortals, but always in secret, for secrecy is what gives them power. But now, a young girl using modern technology has accidentally caught one of them in the act of working a miracle, and with the push of a button, that single revelation will spread to threaten reality itself and spark a war among gods. Starring as themselves, Peter Hades 313, Cryptic, Diesel Dave, The Next 6 Minutes, Bearing Cab and Evan, Jordan 250, Sanguine Mathgamain, Jim Helis, Mule 1066, Nope, Surfing Moose, Tall Person, Point Curation, Snubber 13, The Layman, Rotten Corpse, and Terry Diamantis. They are the gods of the night.
The gods of the night. Nice.
And you have a super chat.
Thank you, Snubber. Funny you.
Hello?
Help me out here. Did I miss something?
Funny you mean Shonug. South Park's new game made them a boss and racist as all hell. Shonuggaruth, and they can only eat South Park's black people. Okay,
so that is written how it's supposed to be. Okay, I wasn't sure.
Yeah. Well, okay, so Shub Nuggaroth, N-U-G-G, is a H.P. Lovecraft deity from the 20s. So, you know, I mean, you can pronounce it.
I'm not up on my Lovecraft.
Yeah, it's okay. And lastly, Cryptic requested a sequel to Total Recall, starring Bear as the three-titted chick, SDA as the secret government agent, Monkey as the oblivious helper, and Scribe as the serious local cop. This Christmas, see the greatest retelling of an action movie classic as you could never have imagined. Arnold Schwarzenegger is back in one of the several roles that made him famous as Douglas Quaid, the everyman of Mars with a double identity. But after Total Recall ended, Total Recall has just begun, as Quaid is recaptured, re-brainwashed, and the original movie script is repurposed to be remade all over again. Can an elderly Quaid resolve his past in order to reclaim the future? With a legion of recast stars, Irate Bear as Mary, the three-hootered hooker, Some Dumb American as Lori, the suspicious spouse, Ranting Monkey as Benny, the haplessly helpful grifter, and Scribelight as Richter, the perilous policeman. Get ready to relive a movie you've already seen. Cryptic Studios presents Total Remake.
Well done. Well done indeed.
And that's it. Thank you so much, guys, for your donations. Hope you like the ads.
Which leads us into deep topic time. And I'm going to go way out on a limb here and say none of us brought one.
You would be correct, sir.
I think we need to rename this segment to We Have No Fucking Idea What We're Going to Talk About, but we'll figure something out.
Well, you wanted me to remind you something about free speech and what was it? Not telling someone who you don't agree with that they can't talk or something like that.
Oh, that was about my video. Or the comments on my video, because I do have a problem with that. And yeah, we can use that for our deep topic time if you'd like. That comment goes on to suggest that we're actually at war. And they mean literal war, judging by what they said. Thank you, the Dark Wolf 25. Watching from work, talk about how I need a raise. Whoever employs the Dark Wolf 25, he needs a huge raise, like triple his salary and then triple it again. There you go.
Yes, raise it at least $5 to make up for that donation.
Yes, indeed. I've seen a lot of talk, people asking, did we, or are we headed for a civil war?
Oh God.
For the record, no.
Yeah, no.
Um, First of all, that you're talking. The Civil War happened at a time when basically we were not the same country we are right now. Um, each the militias were much more important. There was no standing army in every state, or at least every other state like we have today. There's not going to be a civil war. This isn't a war. It's a war of ideology, and the way you win that is with words. For fuck's sake, it's just a word.
Well, you could make the argument that we are experiencing a culture war, not a civil war,
Sure.
in the sense of that. I mean, there is a war of ideas and ideologies going on. If someone wants to be so hyperbolic as to say it's a civil war, we're leading to something else just because a relatively minor group of Antifa and a relatively minor group of white nationalists occasionally fight each other, then you're really blowing things out of proportion. But then that's what intersectionality does.
Yeah.
But we are having a culture war of, the political correct and the super duper regressive left trying to play nanny state over everybody. And the right wing, which for so long in my growing up was sort of the enemy of progress and of people's rights and of free speech and everything else, now looking more sane than before. Not the really, really far right. I mean, it's all the, I hate to bring up the word spectrum, but it is a spectrum. You got the really, really extreme left, and you got the really, really extreme right. But I think they're pushing more and more people towards the center because they're just becoming so batshit insane lately.
Mm-hmm.
And so, and as more people are forced to the center, whether they want to be or not, because they're either not extreme enough or they're, too extreme for others, the really fringe people get pushed more and more into a corner, and then they become louder and more active and more desperate. And then it seems like there's more going on just because people are being louder about it, but it's just the squeaky wheel thing. So those of us on sort of like the outside looking in at all this insanity, it might seem like there's more going on than is actually there. It's more like, it's like a bubble. It's like a housing bubble, It's like everything's great or everything's big, but it really isn't. It's filled with air.
We excuse me, we didn't talk about it, but the Senate passed their version of the tax bill last night.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see Patton Oswalt's video or response to it on Twitter?
No.
This is what he wrote. Excuse me, Jesus Christ. I apologize, guys. This sinus thing's still going on. I hate this time of year. Is there any going back after this hashtag tax bill scam to America? Does it matter now if Trump is impeached? There's no America now. Not the one we knew. Sorry, feeling real despair this morning.
Oh, God.
I responded with maybe lay off the estrogen.
Hey, tell you what, Patton Oswalt, go visit Poland for about a month. Go live in Poland for a month and tell me that America still isn't one of the best places on the planet to be sitting in right now. And no offense to Poland. Yeah, no offense to Polacks. I'm just saying that the living conditions and the culture and everything else in Poland or anywhere else in the worst parts of Europe, we're way better off here. I think America's over or something. Give me a fucking break.
It's funny that you use like the most right wing, probably the most right wing country in Europe to give an example of how left wing Europe is.
No, I didn't say about how left wing. I'm just talking about how the relative state of living conditions in the world.
Yeah, Poland's actually doing pretty okay because they're keeping all the Muslims out.
I could have picked anywhere else on the planet. I've just had relatives that went to Poland and brought back videos and stuff. Anyway, never mind. Forget I said anything.
I watched Porco's stuff about Poland, and while he enjoyed his time there, you couldn't pay me to live there. Fuck that.
That was the other thing too. Porco's rendition of stuff was like, yeah, great place to visit, but man,
yeah, no thanks.
Yeah, just.
But the reason I brought that up was because you mentioned over exaggerating lefties. This is a fucking tax bill. It's not like there was something passed that's going to change the way you live.
Well,
some people are going to get tax breaks.
Could.
Not to the point where you say there is no America.
No, yeah, no, not there. But I mean, if you were gonna accurately criticize a tax bill, then the way that it changes your life, there are certainly ways that it could change your life.
Thank you, Attack Alpaca. Did you guys hear about the kidnapping today? Don't worry, everything's okay now. The kid woke up.
Har, har.
I like that one.
Yeah, isn't Patton Oswalt a millionaire?
Yeah, he is.
Oh, okay. Sorry, Patton. Yeah, you're fine.
Well,
you're one of the people that the tax bill is helping, by the way.
America's over. Is there any reason to impeach Trump now? That's what you wanted to impeach him for, because he might get a tax bill. Fuck you. And I understand this guy who left a comment, and the stupid shit that people say, and that's why you make fun of it when they say stupid shit, so that those looking along go, oh yeah, that is kind of fucking stupid.
Well, the other thing is that while the tax bill passed the Senate, it's going to bounce back. They're going to play ping pong with it for a very long time before anything actually happens.
Trump really wants this done before the end of the year, and the House passed a bill that's not that different. There are some differences, of course, so the House and Senate have to reconcile. But I would not be surprised to see this signed before the new year. Because they desperately need a win. Desperately need a win.
Yeah. After the repeal and replace and all other stuff, yeah, they've screwed the pooch left, right, and center.
Well, I had somebody arguing with me about how Trump has changed the country so much, and I'm like, what's he done?
Yeah, what happened?
What fucking thing have they done so far? They haven't passed anything.
Yeah, what law has been passed? Sorry.
No, you're right. Keep going.
What law has been passed? What Constitution amendment has been put in place or overthrown? What decision has been made that has fundamentally changed my ability to move through the world and operate as a human being? Nothing.
Well, we have the rollback on net neutrality.
Hasn't happened yet. Other one probably.
Right. What was the other one? They God damn it. There was another. Was it the EPA rules? I can't remember. Another fucking. Oh, that's something I'm going to go off on for just a minute. Somebody got upset because Lacey Green had made a tweet about net neutrality, and I responded to it with, contact your congressman and let them know you want this passed as law. And somebody was very mad at me for that, because I said that I'd rather have it passed that way through an unelected body.
Yeah.
And I absolutely hate all of the unelected bodies we have telling us how we can live our lives in this country. For anybody who's worried about the Congress passing a law, that's how it's supposed to work.
Right.
But whether you like the EPA, the consumer, the one this guy brought up was the Consumer Protection Bureau.
Yeah.
Or the FCC, the FEC, any of this stuff. These people are not elected, and they get to just make rules that literally tell us how we have to live our lives. And that bothers me, one, because it's supposed to be Congress doing this. And the reason that they have all of these different commissions and shit is so that they can wash their hands of it and go, well, we didn't really do that. That wasn't really me. I didn't do that. It's not like Congress has all, they're just so busy they couldn't actually look into this shit. It's that they're too lazy and they don't want that shit attached to their name. So we get these fucking commissions who get to basically piss on the whole reason we have a country in the first place. The reasoning behind the revolution, taxation without representation, represented by these things. They're literally just picked. Yeah, hashtag dissolve the FCC. I agree. And I know that scares people, but that's what Congress is supposed to fucking do. Now, if it was just the FCC following through and making sure that the laws passed by Congress were followed, that's fine. That's how it should be. They should not be making fucking rules. None of their that's what they're there for. I hate how Americans these days are just so willing to give up everything because There's a fucking commission. I realize, everybody, we need clean air. Yeah, that's fine. They should not be in the business of telling people how to run their companies. That's if you want to have environmental standards, have it go through fucking Congress like it should. Make these little fuckers in Congress do their goddamn job, and if they don't do it the way you like, vote them the fuck out. Don't give somebody.
The ATF should not be making gun laws, and
yes,
I mean you have agencies to enforce laws as passed, like Monkey said, and honestly, at this stage of the game. Speaking of the net neutrality thing, hasn't the internet transcended simple communication at this point? I mean, it's effectively the internet is effectively the soapbox in the town square, and that falls far outside simple just the limited amount of airwaves that TV stations have or that radio stations have access to, etc. The internet is open space. In so many words now, it's not just a telephone call. If I post something on the internet, everyone on the planet can see it if they so choose. So saying that we're going to place that control into private hands would be the same as saying we're going to privatize open expression. It still boggles my mind that someone in authority hasn't clued these guys in on the fact that this is not a private enterprise anymore. It is a public utility. It is as public a utility as a road, or as the phone lines are, or as the open air we breathe at this stage of the game. Because when everybody and their brother can text to everybody on the planet at one time on a tweet, it's not just private communications anymore, or shunted single channel network television. So how that concept does not seem to enter into the minds of people, or how more people in authority like our congressmen and everyone else haven't already clued into that and made some big move to change how this is being run, I don't know. It really distresses me.
They won't, because then it comes back to what I said. Then the decisions are on them, and nobody wants that.
God forbid.
Responsibility for my actions? Oh, fuck no, I'm in government. Oh, man.
Responsibility for my actions? Wait, you mean it's not a grand conspiracy of like intersecting identities and stuff?
Kara says, won't net neutrality make it where the government controls what we see and stuff? No, that's not what net neutrality does. What the way that would work, and that could happen absolutely because of past FCC rulings. Thankfully, so far that hasn't happened. What net neutrality does would be basically to keep your ISP from forcing you to go to certain websites. That's the very, very thin version of it. But back in the 80s, the Supreme Court the right to decide what we see and hear, and that never should have been their job. It was all because excuse me, there was a preacher, I believe in Alabama, who heard something he didn't like on the radio, and next thing you know, the FCC now had the right to control what was fucking said, and that never should have happened. Yeah, it's not up to them. Even I understand it with like broadcasting licenses. Okay, we have these rules where you can't do this, but again, those rules should come from fucking Congress, not some jackass sitting on a committee that he wasn't fucking voted to. Okay, I have it as part of my research paper that is wrong with web design.
What?
How do you mean wrong with web design? I'm not sure what you mean there. Guys, we're gonna go ahead and turn this over to you guys. If you have questions and stuff, or you want to talk about the topics we're talking about now.
You're roboting, Monkey. I don't know if it's just me.
Yeah, sorry about that. Let me.
You roboted for a second. You're fine.
I turned down the bandwidth thing since I'm not using pictures anyway. We'll turn it down, and hopefully that helps. Scribe, you should look into decentralizing the internet. The idea is to connect all computers together so you don't need an ISP. A channel called The Thought Emporium did a video about it.
Yeah, that sounds like a terrible fucking idea.
Well, yes and no. I mean, the logistics of it would be a pain in the ass.
Mm-hmm.
Plus,
And then there's security.
Yeah, exactly. What do you think of homeowners associations? Oh, I fucking hate them. I fucking hate them.
You can't paint your house.
If I buy land, yeah, fuck you.
Yeah,
if I buy land, it's mine to do with what I want. Fuck you.
Yeah, if I pay $200,000 for a house, it's my house.
At the same time, though, like if you bought it there, I mean, you agreed to those conditions, and like, while I understand there are some horror stories with homeowners associations, at the same time, if one person's house looks like absolute shit, it lowers the value of everybody else's property.
Well, yeah, if you sign a contract, then yeah, you're legally bound to it. I'm just saying is that at the same time, it's kind of like, well, don't sign the contract. Don't go to places with homeowners associations if you don't want to do that. That's basically the long and the short.
Yeah, I mean,
what are you clicking over there, woman?
Me?
You are the woman.
Oh, well, I don't know. I'm playing with a pen. Maybe that's what you guys are hearing.
She went lacy green on our asses. No, I would never buy where there is a homeowners association. And if somebody tried to see, the other thing is, just because you bought when there wasn't one doesn't mean that your neighbors won't try to start one. I would be absolutely against that and tell them to go fuck themselves.
Kay Rosering says, like an issue with web design, there is a censorship problem with web design. I either can do a research paper on issues with a job or how to make speeches/essays better.
Oh. Well, good luck with those. Oh, wow. How do you feel about them going ahead with making a He-Man movie with Michael Bay at the helm?
Michael Bay is at the helm? I thought Goyer was going to direct. Did they change that already?
I don't know. Max was asking that.
Let's see. Yeah, so the Masters of the Universe movie targets director David S. Goyer, who's done, Blade movies and stuff like that. No, I don't want to look at your fucking ad. Is Michael Bay even a part of this? I don't see Michael Bay's name mentioned, but if you know something I don't, then
Stacy Gardner says Scribe Light should work in an ad agency with how good he is with ads. I agree, but I feel like it would be the movie Crazy People.
Yeah. You're like, so your first job is to make an ad for Volvo. They're boxy, but good.
Good. My favorite is the final ad, and for anybody who's never seen the movie and might, good luck with that. The final ad is my favorite. There's some great ones in there though. Metamucil, it helps you go to the toilet. If you don't use it, you'll cancer and die.
Oh man,
that movie. I first rented that movie. I was like, okay, maybe this sounds okay, and I laughed so fucking hard.
It's really weird that movie's on moratorium. I mean, you can still get copies of Arthur, for God's sakes. Why can't you get copies of that somewhere? I don't know.
I know, and it was such a great movie.
Yeah, probably because it's offensive to people with mental illness or whatever.
Probably, yeah. For those of you who don't know, that the movie is about a guy whose wife leaves him. He's an ad exec, and it makes him go crazy. So he just starts telling the truth in his ads, and some of them are funny as fuck. Satsu wants to know if we talked about the "I'm Not a Racist" video. Is that the music video we discussed the other night? The one where it starts off with the white guy, and I don't know. I'm not sure what that video is.
It was the rapper, and you had the two guys in a room. One's a white guy with a red cap on, and the other it's a black guy on the other side of the table, and they start going back and forth about stuff and stereotypes and things. We talked about that. Yeah.
I think we did that the last time we were on my channel.
Yeah.
Crazy Man 1984 says, a friend had an old car frame. The homeowners association tried to make him remove it. So he stuck some plastic flowers on it and called it a piece of art. Then they could do nothing.
Yes, finding loopholes in the contract's great. Let's see. Kara says, but on a bright note, I am over halfway done with my final essay with SDA being Person of the Year. Ooh.
There you go.
I'm looking forward to seeing that maybe. Thanks. Let's see.
What else is happening? I feel like there should be more happening in the world right now. It's been relatively quiet the last few months.
Well, we're just, days away from nuclear war with North Korea, so don't get too complacent.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah, I'm looking for something interesting here, guys. I'm sorry for the dead air.
Dead air. Syntax Error says, whatever happened to the ICANN situation? Oh God, I haven't thought about that in a long time.
What's the ICANN situation? It sounds familiar.
ICANN, the Internet Corporation for Assigned Names and Numbers, used to be something that we dealt with locally, but then they handed it off to the international community or whatever. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe whatever the problems are haven't happened yet. I don't know. The worry was that the internet would be censored by governments that are less tolerant of free speech, I think it was. Whether that is happening or not, will we ever really know?
Stacey Gardner wants to know who we could see playing the role of She-Ra in a movie.
She-Ra. I'm
not that familiar with. I haven't watched a lot of movies lately.
There's this is a very recent thing, but there's a TV show on Netflix that I just finished watching the second season of. It's called Glitch. I won't tell you what it's about, but there's two shows on Netflix called Glitch. The one you're looking for is the one that's from Netflix, and it talks about a mystery about 7 people. I won't go any further. But there's a lady in that who's a blonde. She's Australian, but that doesn't matter. And just as you said that, She-Ra, the first image that popped in my mind is, if she'd make a great She-Ra, she'd just have to maybe buff out a little bit. But yeah, she'd look really good. So whatever that actress's name is, she'd do really good.
Scarlett Johansson, because she does everything these days.
She's too short.
With you in a fight with Dracula. Buffy.
The sun.
Kicked his ass.
Yeah. The sun baby from Teletubbies.
I feel like that would be your greatest ally.
Yeah.
Me and Little Butt were watching that again. And if you guys have not watched the later seasons of the Teletubbies since they brought them back, you really have to, because they have added all kinds of CGI and it is just ridiculous.
Don't they have like little baby Teletubbies now?
They're Tiddly Tubbies. Yes, they do.
And they're fucking weird.
They're creepy as fuck.
Syntax Error says, what movie are you all discussing tomorrow? The greatest movie that's ever been made. The Hunt for Red October.
Frozen.
There you
go.
No?
I'm a little bit worried about that tomorrow.
Why is that?
Because you absolutely love this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And I like the movie, I do.
Yeah,
but I'm going to be critical.
Like
we always are.
My love will not waver.
Okay. No, well, I don't mean your love for the movie. I meant your love for me.
Whoa, you totally roboted there again.
Oh, I said.
He said your love for me. Like, come on, you can understand him. It's okay. No,
I couldn't hear anything you said.
I said, I'm not worried about your love for the movie. I'm worried about your love for me.
Okay. Well, don't worry. I've disagreed with you on things before, and I'm still here. So.
Okay. All right. Scribe Light Ranting Monkey. Wow, I wanted that at like 3 a.m. yesterday.
What? I wanted that at.
Well, syntax error. I'm guessing the movie.
Oh. I wanted that at like. Okay. Oh. Let's see. Mr. Bone says Joss Whedon and subsequent writers made Buffy such a Sue at this point. She could probably kill Superman and he'd stay dead.
Yeah. After season 3 was really the pinnacle of the show, and then the Dracula fight was the first episode of season 5, I believe it was, and I still liked it. And by 6 and 7, it was just fucking ridiculous. But I'm a fangirl. I'm okay with it. The end of that show was shit. The end of Angel, however, was one of the best endings of a show ever, surpassed only by Sons of Anarchy.
Well, The Shield. You still need to watch The Shield.
Okay, fair enough. Shira will be played by Leslie Jones. She's kind of old, ain't she?
Yeah, you need someone a bit younger, a bit limber, because your target demographic is going to be young girls and teenage boys who want to see a warrior woman run around in like a short skirt. So,
my daughter told me the other day all her dolls look like aliens. All dolls do look like aliens.
That's because your daughter is an alien and humans are alien to her. Dun dun dun.
Make Europe Strong Again says term limits for Supreme Court justices. No.
Nope. Don't want them to be politicized any more than they already are.
Yeah. The whole point of not having any term limits or even voting for them is so that they can be objective.
Also, even though some people say, you get too old, you don't have perspective on things, that's exactly what you have. You have perspective. Precedent. You've been there a while. You've seen how things have progressed. I mean, that's why you replace them from time to time every generation or so. But that's the kind of pace our laws need, is the thing. We don't want to act on like reflex or emotion when it comes to adjudicating laws or looking at past cases and precedent and trying to decide how it operates today.
Lycan says Johnny Depp could play Skeletor. No, the chick who made herself look like Angelina Jolie.
Oh God. Maybe one of Skeletor's minions or something.
And actually, Angelina Jolie could do it at this point because that bitch needs her
Angelina,
face.
Angelina Jolie could be Evil Lynn.
She could be Skeletor.
You need a.
Have you seen the South Park where Butters keeps mistaking her for Skeletor? He keeps telling stories. No, it was Maria Shriver. Sorry, yeah, she could do it too.
Maria Shriver. Holy cow!
That's a funny episode of South Park.
Yeah, you know what I really hate about Hollywood?
What?
How you get these beautiful young women who go in there and they come out looking like Skeletor, because every one of them, like, they have these, the little the cute cheeks, and then 2 years later you can like see their teeth outlined in their cheeks. No,
well, you have to lose all the weight.
You don't know. No, you don't. They get famous when they look good, and then they.
Yeah, but like you're only pretty if you can see all the outlines of your bones. Duh.
Yeah.
Is that not how that works?
No, not really.
Oh.
That chick from the show Bones could play Skeletor. You're talking about Emily Deschanel.
Is she related to Zoe Deschanel, or is that like a different
sister?
Okay.
Yeah, the Bones chick, she could be Evil Lynn. She'd be a good Evil Lynn.
They did an episode of Bones once where they played cousins, and it's really cute if you watch it. My problem with Emily Deschanel, and once you see this, you can't unsee it. She has these weird bumps on her forehead above her eyes.
What?
Horns.
She does. Kind of, yeah. And you only catch it sometimes, but there's these really weird bumps there. And after I first saw it, I can't unsee it, and it fucks me up. Christopher Walken should play Harry Potter. The Jack motherfucking Cochran. Let's see. What else we have here? Oh, by the way, guys, tonight is game night over on the Minions of the Zoo. I'll probably be listening tonight. I don't know if I'll be fucking with their chat. I'll probably be fucking with their chat. They start at 11:30, so check it out. It's funny. Plus, I'm undefeated on their Quiplash. They keep trying.
Her jaw is weird too.
Who, Emily?
Sorry. And you're right. Oh my God, she does have bumps on her forehead.
Yeah, and it's fucking weird.
Yeah, and her jaw's bizarre as well. It's very.
She's still really cute when she like does her hair just right, but yeah, when you catch that forehead, it's like, oh. Do you know the one aspect of religion that Christianity and Mormonism fully agree on is that Jesus
Uh,
Christ is a cracker?
yes, that is true. Yeah, because the Garden of Eden is somewhere in what, like, uh, Missouri or something.
Yeah. You're right. I forgot about that.
The Garden of Eden's in Missouri, and the Indians are the lost tribe of Israel.
Wouldn't it be great if Native Americans were actually the Jews?
Well, that's what the Mormons say, that they're the lost tribe of Israel.
Yeah, no, I'm saying, but wouldn't it be great if that was true?
Why would it be great?
Well, because then all of the Christians who came to America slaughtered all the Jews, and
Oh, Jesus.
and Hitler gets a pass. Hitler's no longer the worst person ever. It's actually George Washington.
Wait, George Washington already is the worst person ever because he owns slaves.
That's true too. See, he was a bastard. We
Yeah.
should take him off the quarter and replace him with Tariq Nasheed.
So, like, realistically, though, if you guys could have slaves,
Yeah.
Okay.
would you?
No.
No.
Why?
I don't feel good when people do things for me anyway.
Yeah, it's antithetical to my morals. Now, in the bedroom, that's different, or some kind of relationship, some kind of BDSM relationship dynamic. That's different when it's all like consensual. It's not actually like forced servitude in a sense that, you know, like actual slavery. But yeah, no, I don't want any slaves.
No, I don't like when people like when my wife makes dinner. I feel bad about it. I feel like I should have went and done it. And I don't know why, because I'm actually a lazy motherfucker. But yeah, I guess I'd rather starve than have somebody wait on me. How about Willem Dafoe as Skeletor? Yeah, that would actually work out.
Willem Dafoe is the Joker.
I could see that too.
Yeah.
I think he would make an excellent Scooby-Doo villain.
That's his smile. No, he should play Shaggy.
In the Thelma movie. No, it's Daphne. Who's getting their own movie? Thelma or
Daphne
Daphne?
and Thelma. Yeah, Daphne.
It's
they get one
Velma,
together.
not Thelma.
Velma, whatever.
Velma.
And
Velma,
also
yeah, sorry.
Sabrina the Teenage Witch is getting her own Netflix series.
Oh my God, yes.
But it's going to be dark, like I don't know, Stranger Things type dark or whatever.
Oh,
They're gonna do like Buffy.
Yeah, something like that.
Scribe, where
I mean,
do you draw the line
would-
between a sub and a slave?
Go ahead, SCA.
Yeah,
Wouldn't it be like Sabrina the Middle-Aged Witch?
at this point, yes.
It's supposed to be a spin-off from so the way I read it was it's a spin-off from the Riverdale TV show, which I've never seen, but it's going to be on Netflix for some reason. And I don't know what the dynamic of licensing there or anything is, but it's going to be that sort of darker, edgier world, but with Sabrina. So I don't know what that means. What was the question? Draw the line between a sub and a slave.
Yeah. The gimp suit, right?
Well, the slave dynamic is, I mean, if you're doing it, I can't say the word legit, but the way I distinguish it is, a slave is someone who is a 24-hour power exchange, and there's more pomp and circumstance to it. Like there's a contract, like there's a level of subservience in your real life that is beyond simple bedroom athletics, let's say. Now, again, I hate to use this word, but it's true. There is a spectrum of how that operates depending on how hardcore you are. If you have a 24/7 full-time situation with you and your partner in that way, that is one kind of, slavery. And then there's, once in a while, you'll just do it as sort of a weekend thing or some kind of, I don't know. It's I guess it depends on how seriously you're taking it and how consistently it's a part of your relationship.
I think if you're doing it 24/7, maybe it's time for therapy.
Nah.
Not necessarily. I've known people who have. It's interesting to see it in action, so to speak, because it's not about just sexuality stuff all the time. It's about everyday stuff. Yeah,
hence the therapy.
Well, to each their own, lest someone be hurt, as they say.
Make Your Abstragagan says, what do you think of Thanos' look in the Infinity Wars trailer? I think it's awesome they're bringing Hellboy into the series.
I can see why they'd want to casual him up a little bit to maybe like wait until he's all God King again to put on all the other stuff. I hope it's temporary because, yeah, he doesn't. Thanos rarely operated without his full regalia on. You know, you knew you were looking at Thanos and not some other character or something. So I hope it's just sort of him exploring, because there was scenes in the Infinity Gauntlet story where he was in casual attire at certain points, but usually when he was like on his own planet and being reflective or something. So yeah, I hope it's a transition to the greater version of him later on.
He wasn't purple enough. I'm upset about the shade of purple they chose.
That's pretty on point with the comic books.
No, it was like a reddish. And I'm staring at comic books right now. He's very reddish in the trailer.
Well, it could be the lighting too.
I just want them to purple him up. That's all.
Mash has suggested Riley Dennis as Skeletor. No, Skeletor had muscles.
That's true. It's got to be a buff guy. That's the thing. It's got to be, or someone that can be buffed up. So it's going to have to be somebody relatively, or you put him in armor like they did with Frank Langella, is that you just put him in like a big outfit where you don't have to worry about that kind of thing. So.
Favorite Avenger from the new ones. I don't know.
I still like Captain America as he's developed over the movies. I mean, Winter Soldier really sold me on him as a really cool character, the way they've fleshed him out. So I still like Captain America quite a bit.
Oh my gosh.
What?
Oh, my daughter has gone to visit my father-in-law down in Virginia, so I don't have a little butt here, and I just got a picture of her. She's so cute.
Aww.
She gets her own bed in the hotel room, and she gets her own double bed in the hotel room.
Oh, geez.
She looks so tiny on this thing. She's still so cute. Anyhow, sorry, I'm Little Butt will always win over you guys. I love you guys, but she wins. Let's see. Only Skeletor's head was skeletal. That's true. Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yep. He was blue, purplish bodied, and yellow skulled.
Why do you guys like watching a reskin of the same movie every year? If you're talking about comic book movies, because they're not exactly the same, and it's the same reason I read comic books year after year after year.
Yeah, I'm as silly as it is, I'm really glad that I am alive to see the characters from my youth on the big screen and treated with such relative respect by the people making the movies. It's not some cheesy knockoff thing like the original Punisher movie or the original Captain America movie. I'm not talking about the TV shows, but those two with Red Brown were pretty bad. But yeah, I mean, you've got a full-scale, big-budget, shared universe. It's more than I could have ever imagined as a kid when I heard like, oh, they're going to make a Punisher movie. Oh boy, this is great. Even when it's bad, it's good. And Marvel hasn't really made a bad one yet, except for Iron Fist.
Oh, sorry.
Iron Fist sucks ass.
Especially if you grew up as we did watching, I don't know if you ever saw the Spider-Man TV show or The Incredible Hulk.
Oh, Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends and Stan Lee introducing every episode of The Incredible Hulk. Yeah.
No, the live-action Spider-Man. Was that the
live-action Spider-Man? Yeah, with the guy who was from, he was one of the kids in Sound of Music.
Yeah. Those were horrible. I mean, it was great to see your hero on screen, but they never fought anybody. It was Peter Parker. Every episode was stopping some business who was doing something bad. That's not what Spider-Man does.
Yeah, they couldn't do actual supervillains pretty much. Yeah. I mean, the Incredible Hulk was sort of like the Fugitive, except it was the Incredible Hulk. Until you got to the TV movies, or like the Trial of the Incredible Hulk, where you had like Daredevil and Thor that showed up, things like that. I even remember the cheesy 70s disco music for the Spider-Man TV movies. Went
P-Dog wants to know if I said Little Butt. Yes, I did. That's what I've called her since she was born, and it's sad because the poor girl got her grandfather's ass, and while my butt is cute, it's very small. I call her, there's several. I also call her Grand Monkey. I call her my little spider monkey. The one thing she doesn't like me calling her is when she's ignoring me, I will go and she'll look at me and go, my name not and don't say it's so cute. She's mad about it.
And don't call her by her real name. She wants to be called Baby.
Oh yeah, she has
baby.
moods.
It's true.
Sometimes she'll look at you and go, no, call me by my real name, or no, I'm Baby, or I'm Kitty. The weirdest one is, did I tell you she has an imaginary friend and it's Barney the dinosaur?
Oh no. So when I did that voice that one time, did that freak her out?
Oh no, she loved it.
Oh, okay.
But like Barney gets his own place at the table, and Barney rides next to her every time we go to the store.
Oh geez. That's cute.
Yeah, it's both adorable and a little creepy.
Until Barney starts telling her to burn things down, it's great.
Yeah, exactly. I know I saw more questions up here. Oh, why are Net and Mr. Bones arguing? You guys are being harsh to each other. Damn.
What happened? I'm not even seeing it.
I don't know. They're fighting in chat.
Oh, okay. A war of words.
Does Fox still own Fantastic Four movie rights? Yeah.
Well, here's the interesting thing. There was just a report, and I tweeted it out earlier in the show, that it is rumored that Disney has re-engaged with 20th Century Fox to buy their assets, their movie assets.
Oh, that would be awesome.
And so if Marvel got Fantastic Four and all things X-Men, that would be great. But yes, time will tell.
Net, I'm not taking a side in there. I was just curious. I missed how it started. that's all. Yeah, I would love to see Fantastic Four done properly. Yes, I really would.
And you know, I thought about this a long time ago. All they have to do, they can recreate the exact same origin story. They just make Reed Richards and his friends a team on a SpaceX project.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's all it is. I mean, that was the origin story in the original thing. You know, Reed Richards creates a rocket ship to go up into space. They get hit by the cosmic rays. And it would be perfect timing, too, with all this Infinity War stuff. They could work it in as sort of like a backwards prequel where they tested their little SpaceX ship just as some Infinity War thing went off. And and then there you go. It'd be so easy to do. It'd be great.
Yeah, and I really love the original Fantastic Four. I haven't kept up with them over the years, but they used to be such a great comic.
Yeah, and it was fun too. I mean, it was lighthearted. It was about adventure and exploration. They didn't have secret identities. There was so much camaraderie, and it was about being a family. And the really bad, cheesy Fantastic Four movies that do exist, with Chris Evans in there as the Human Torch, that is the first one is as close in relative terms to the dynamic of the group as any movie has gotten, even though the end result is a pretty shitty movie, and I hated what they did with Dr. Doom. Oh God,
I didn't like what they did with Doom. I liked, and I know people are gonna hate me for this. I liked the Silver Surfer. I actually didn't mind that movie too much. My problem with the Fantastic Four, and they've done it in both of the movie or both of the franchises now.
Mm-hmm.
Reed Richards is not a pussy.
Yeah,
he was never this geek that they're confusing him with fucking Spider-Man, for fuck's sake.
Yeah, I mean, he was a bit he was portrayed as someone who was didn't have a really good handle on the social graces, but he was a genius, assertive, forthright, brave individual. He was a hero. He was an adventurer.
Yes.
He didn't operate on the same level as regular people because he's a fucking genius thinking about other dimensions and like quantum physics and shit. But other than that, he wasn't some kind of like dope. I don't know what I'm doing. And like, oh God.
Yeah, they've turned. It's another part of the Hollywood fucking up movies because they think a trope has to be inserted. The geek doesn't always have to be a geek.
Or if he is a geek, he doesn't have to be weak. Let's put it that way.
Which is where they got Iron Man so right.
Yes. No shit.
the way that they did Tony Stark was just so fucking awesome because I never thought I would see that. I really didn't.
Yeah, it's on point too. It's perfect.
Yeah, yeah, and it was amazing the way they did it, and I wish they would do that with the Fantastic Four. I don't care about Fox owning it. There's very few times where you really need them in the MCU. I wish they could be, but other than like Spider-Man getting his suit and getting it off the first time and all of that. I mean, there were some crossovers, but they didn't like launch a lot of other careers. You know what I mean?
Well, the thing that really needs to be in Marvel's hands is Doctor Doom. Doctor Doom transcends the Fantastic Four, is the best bad guy in the Marvel Universe. And his absence from the MCU is really, really irritating me over the course of time.
But for me, for the MCU part of it, I would much rather have them get the rights to the X-Men back than worry too much about the Fantastic Four. I would just like to see a good Fantastic Four movie.
Yeah, that too.
Guys, we have 4 minutes left. Hi, baby. She kissed at me and waved.
Oh.
She ran around in her nightgown. I might have to leave you.
Uh-oh. Well, you want to leave early?
Oh, fuck no, dude. I'm in too much pain for that.
Oh.
I'll just go in there and stare at her creepily.
Kara says, would you watch a movie about a talking, singing man eating plant and everyone dies? Oh, you mean Little Shop of Horrors? I've watched that movie. I've seen the play, too. You ever seen it on stage as a play?
No, I've never seen it live.
Okay. Yeah, the modern version with Steve Martin and Rick Moranis is the preferred version, even though the Roger Corman one does have Jack Nicholson in it, like when he was a baby, but all the same. Neko says, I'm really hoping to see Secret Wars become a live-action TV series. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm not sure that the Secret Wars plot line isn't going to end up in this Infinity War set.
It kind of sounds like they're headed that way.
Yeah, because I would not be surprised if we see a whole bunch of baddies from past movies suddenly recreated with the Infinity Gauntlet to battle against the good guys. So, you know, find the Abomination transported to this battle planet, Red Skull resurrected, Yellow Jacket, etc. I'm not entirely sure they're not going to put Secret Wars in there.
Now, and for that, yeah, you would need the Fantastic Four to do it properly. Excuse me. But what they'll do is they'll just make it Tony Stark did it.
Probably. Tony Stark and Bruce Banner and galactic type technology from the Guardians of the Galaxy, etc.
Uh-oh, Peterbilt is pulling a Peter. You guys always miss my chats.
Okay.
Whatever you say next, I promise you, Peter, I will read it. Make sure you do it. You got 2 minutes. Do it quick.
Let me scroll up, see if I can find whatever it was.
Kara said the high school she went to did Little Shop of Horrors this year. The year after I left high school, they did Little Shop of Horrors. I missed it. The last one we did was Grease. Communist in Space wants to know why I'm such a meanie to him, because all you talk about is North Korea. You need another shtick. You are, as I told you, you are a one-trick pony.
I'm scrolling really high up. I don't see anything from Peter.
Maybe Peter just wanted some attention. Maybe you're just missing it because we always miss his chats.
Maybe they're not showing up for some reason. I don't know.
Ask Scribe how he feels about the new season of Marvel's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. taking place off of Earth.
Well, it's not surprising given how both Thor and the rest of the Marvel Universe are moving into the galactic area of things, and they got to. I mean, it's been leading up to this for a while since they've had the I forget all of a sudden. The race of aliens that tie in with Captain Marvel and everything. I'm forgetting. Anyway, it's all, where else can you go? I mean, every time that a franchise reaches the end of its conclusion, whether it's Jason X or Leprechaun, they have to take it into space. Although in Marvel, it makes sense. I don't know much about the plot line yet. I haven't seen the first episode yet, but I would be surprised if this isn't the last season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. anyway, so why not?
Peter says he tagged me. I haven't seen anything from you. I'm not being...
No, seriously, I've scrolled up like all the way I can. I don't see anything from you, Peter. So unless Unless your chats aren't making it through or something, I don't know, honestly.
Okay, it's the top of the hour, but I want to address two things real fast. Communist in Space says we can talk about why the Soviet Union was not a failure. Yeah, I could turn to my wall and have a far more productive conversation. Get off communism, learn something else. And finally, Jenna P says, my birthday is on Sunday, so can you guys sing the day before or after? Remind me, we'll be on SJW, oh my God, SDA's channel. Holy fuck. Let's try that again. We will be on SDA's channel on Monday. Remind me first thing on Monday, and we will make sure to do that for you. And with that, guys, it is the top of the hour, and I just want to thank you guys so much for coming out and hanging out with us tonight. Thanks for all the questions. Thanks for the super chats. Thank you for, excuse me. Thank you for being awesome and always showing up to support us for this. You guys are amazing, and we love you. Scribe, STA, a pleasure as always. Guys, your life makes me sad. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.